Okay guys, I apologize for the video title once again, but this title refers to people who are not only defending this terrible new skip button, which I talked about in my last video, but people who are also claiming that we don't even need a skip button to begin with, because apparently it's only making the game worse for everyone. Why would you possibly complain about a feature that has literally zero downsides to it? There is literally not a single downside that comes with a skip button. If you don't want a skip button, then you don't have to use it. However, the large portion of people who do want a skip button would be able to enjoy the game way more if we had a skip button. So there's literally no downsides to it. So why the fuck would you possibly complain about it and not want a skip button to be in the game? I do not understand it. Because when I took a look at some of the comments under not only Debunking's video, but also my own video, and also when I saw some of the things that people sent to me, I think I genuinely got brain damage from looking at some of these comments, bro. So let's take a look at some of the claims that these people are making, and let's debunk them, and let's make it very clear as to why we do in fact need a skip button, and why it's objectively retarded to be against it. So first of all, let's take a look at a claim that a lot of these people love to make who are defending Hoyoverse in this situation, claiming that anyone who wants a skip button is just a LARPer and they're all just lore skippers who are not relevant to the game. Now, let me make something clear. First of all, not everyone is playing the game for the lore. Second of all, even if we're playing for the lore, a skip button would still be great, because in a lot of cases, the storytelling is dog shit. The animations in some of the world quests look like shit. If I don't want to look at the animations but still play the quest, then I should be able to skip the dialogues and just play the fucking quest myself. And also, I would rather look at a YouTube video from somebody about the lore than play the fucking world quest myself, because it's just not a fun experience for me to sit through. So let me be able to skip the boring parts and play the fun parts if I don't care about the shit that they're talking about. I don't care about this dumbass NPC having a problem with this other NPC because apparently they have some fucking problems in fucking Nahakrai in an unrelevant situation that has no relevation to the traveler that I just do not care about. Well, sorry that I want to skip this boring ass shit and do something that's actually fun in the game. However, the fact that we don't have a skip button prevents me from having fun because everything is fucking locked behind some dumbass fucking dialogue that I'm not interested in, that I cannot fucking skip. And also, the majority of people who play the game, even the casual players, do not give a shit about the lore to the point where they want to read every single dialogue in the game. And even people who are interested in the lore have a lot of dialogues that they want to skip, because there's a lot of quests that are not really relevant to the lore at all that still give good rewards that we want to play for just to get the rewards, which objectively is nothing wrong with that, right? I think Genshin not adding a skip button is a good thing because it weeds out the annoying people who only play for the gambling. And personally, I believe we don't need it because your attention span issue isn't everyone else's, because Hoyo isn't holding you hostage to okay this game.
But I feel like some of us should be slaves again, because it just, the way we operate.
Now let me make this clear, okay? To enjoy the game, we need to get the new characters. To get the new characters, we need to get Primo Gems, which we need to gamble for the characters. Now, to get the gambling material, to get the Primo Gems, we need to do certain quests. However, these quests, in a lot of cases, are literally torture because we're not able to skip any of the boring dialogues. Literally everyone who is playing this game is also playing it for the gambling, unless you do not care about the characters at all, which for 99% of cases is not the case. Almost everyone who plays this game cares about getting the characters they want. However, to get the characters, we have to gamble for them, which means we have to get Primo Gems through playing the quests. However, the quests are actual torture because, as I said, we do not have a skip button, which means we have to sit through hours of boring dialogues that a lot of people do not care about just to get a few pulls, which sucks and then leads to us shitting on the game, leaving it and playing something else, even though we want to have fun and enjoy the game. We want to play the game and enjoy it, but the skip button not being there is actively preventing us players who love this game from having fun. Why do I have to explain this shit over and over again? Now look, I understand that you Genshin meat writers want to defend the game from all the bad actors out there, right? A lot of people are just trying to doom post the game all the time, and I understand that you guys want to defend the game from those people. However, when it comes to things like these, we should be honest with ourselves, and we should acknowledge how we are being treated as a player base by the devs. And in this case, we're being treated like shit. That's just the reality of it, okay? We're being treated like shit, and they do not respect us at all. And if you're trying to defend this skip button in particular, then you're literally just a cuck for Hoyoverse. I'm sorry. I'll say it as it is, okay? This person perfectly explains it. This is actually a really good post. I have never ever seen a community so against a skip button. Some of the most respected games have a skip button, and it didn't stop players from engaging in the story. Giving a skip button gives people who want to do something else, like for example, Genshin's gameplay is not just story, a chance to skip. This person actually has a brain. This is true, because a lot of people play for things apart from the lore. In fact, as I said, most people don't even give a shit about the full lore of everything in this game. Most people just want to have fun. Sometimes we want to explore, sometimes we want to enjoy the combat, sometimes we want to play the quests. However, even if I want to just explore the new regions, the skip button issue is still a problem, because whenever I'm trying to explore a new region, I keep getting forced into some dumbass side quest that I do not care about, and then I have to listen for their stupid, uninteresting NPC dialogue for 10 full minutes before I can continue my exploration. Which means that even when we want to do things that do not require us to care about the lore, we still suffer from this issue. I'm not even able to fully explore the regions in this game without being forced into some retarded stupid dialogues that I do not care about. A lot of people play this game for different reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. And again, a skip button doesn't harm anyone. If you don't want a skip button, then you don't have to use it. However, for the people who do want to use it, this is a great addition, and it literally makes the game better for everyone with not a single downside to it. Now, if you think this was already bad, let's take a look at some of the comments under Debunking's video, okay? For example, at the very bottom, literally, people are fucking celebrating the fact that they're not improving the game. The rage bait is real. LMAO, I love it. Bro, this person is celebrating the fact that Hoyoverse is treating us like shit. This is literally a cuck for Hoyoverse. Like, are you kidding me? Genshin LARPers rejoicing from these crumbs. Brother, just because someone wants a skip button, that doesn't mean they're LARPers. Everyone in this game, everyone who plays this game, has wanted a skip button for years, even before Wuthering Waves existed. This has nothing to do with LARPing. Literally, a skip button is a mandatory feature in any fucking game nowadays, but Genshin still doesn't have it. We have every right to complain about it and call this dumbass shit out. And let me show you guys the worst comment of all time. Like, this is seriously the worst comment anybody has ever posted on YouTube. They did not add a skip button. We seriously need one. True. Now look at this shit. Only acceptable skip button would be if the person who skipped gets 0 primogems out of it. Otherwise, it's a spit in the face to bro, this person can't even spell. The majority of the player base who put in the effort and time. Okay, I'm gonna try to contain my composure here, and I'm gonna try not to fucking lose my mind, okay? Literally, the reason why a lot of people want a skip button is to get their rewards faster. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to skip some of the parts of the story to get rewards quicker. We have limited time banners which require us to get primogems as quickly as possible, which requires us to play quests. To play quests faster, we need a skip button. And as I said, to enjoy the game, we need to get the characters, which leads to us needing to play the quests to get pulls for said characters to enjoy the game. And at this point, right, the argument with this lore skipping bullshit is completely dumb in itself. The people who don't care about the lore anyway are still not going to care, and they're going to skip through everything anyway. So it doesn't matter if there's a skip button or not, because the people who don't care about the lore are not gonna be interested in it anyway, and the people who want to skip it are not gonna pay attention to any of this shit anyway. So nobody is losing anything from this fucking skip button. It only has upsides to it. It only has good things that come with it. My reaction to the livestream: we removed the delay on skipping the dialogue. LMAO, I love how they rage bait the antis. Another like straight up cuck behavior comment. This is the only community in any game that is celebrating the fact that the developers are abusing them. Seriously guys, I apologize for the crash out, but it gets to a point where I'm just starting to lose my mind, okay? But as I said, overall, I think it's pretty stupid to not want a skip button because it has no downsides to it, literally, and it only has upsides. It only makes the game better for everyone. Gameplay-wise, this would be the perfect feature to implement, and I think it's pretty dumb to not want this feature. But with that being said, I apologize for crashing out like that, but let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments, and I don't know what the next video is going to be yet, but we'll have to see. And as always, I wish everyone a nice and wonderful day.